Hello. Um, Today I'm gonna make my February astrology. So I'm gonna do my recap for January. So ironically, January was the theme for Capricorn. However, during the beginning or the end of December, towards the end of the month, or towards the end of December, I lost my job, but I regained stability during the end of January. So, ironically, it's a theme for stability, but I lost stability and then I regained it later. Which is January 2026. Also, many different astrological alignments are opposed to Jupiter in Cancer. And it's ironic because I was actually thinking of moving out, which my home location in Cancer has to do with home, emotional sensitivities, emotions, privacy, sensitivities, and things like that. And Jupiter is big world things and events. And I feel like Jupiter in Cancer deals with moving because moving itself is a big world thing. And so, because it's interesting how these astrological alignments were opposing this Jupiter in Cancer. And it's relevant to my situation right now is that how, because I need to be in Capricorn right now, I can't be moving out of anywhere, which is Jupiter in Cancer. I can't move out because of the fact that right now the focus is on Capricorn in my life. Let's see. Venus Aquarius is supposed to signify the expanding of the social sphere setting. That didn't happen really. Well, that happened, but only to a specific degree. So on that note, we're gonna do the astrology for February, and I'm gonna explain what each day or month signifies. And as my ability to interpret astrology enhances, right now I'm studying nakshatras, as it enhances, I'll be able to do more detailed chart interpretations. But right now, I am still a student in astrology, and hopefully in the future I'll get certified for Vedic astrology. That's one of my goals right now for the future. And also, yeah, I don't talk about alignments that are minuscule. Well, not minuscule. Well, let's say my interpretation, they're kind of minuscule. No, not minuscule. Let's say that they're important in terms of astrology, which is the sextile and square or opposite alignments. They're important in astrology, but I don't focus on them because somehow I don't see how they're applicable in my current life. That's why I don't focus on them. But I focus more on conjunctions, and I focus on which planet is in which sign. But eventually, I did focus on them for temporarily, but on sextile and square alignments, but I decided to abandon that because it wasn't really relevant to. I didn't see how what happened in those, let's say, alignments, how it was always relevant to my personal life. So I just abandoned that focus. Let's see. So on that note, we're gonna start. February 1st, Leo full moon means that there's gonna be a lot of focus. You as individuals you're gonna have a lot of focus on let's say, capitalizing on the available energy that exists on the full moon, which means that's what happens when you're in the full moon. You capitalize on the available energy that exists and you express the energy. Because of Leos are expressive, so you're gonna want Leo's about illuminating, creativity, firing, expressing yourself. So because of Leo, you're gonna use that energy of the full moon to express yourself with that Leo, and to express your creative energy, express all the energy that you have inside. Let's see. February 3rd, Uranus direct in Taurus. So when Uranus is direct, is actually something that creates radical change. But when it was in retrograde, when Uranus was in retrograde, radical change was prevented. Now, because it's direct, its radical change is created, or is something that is not halted. And because it's a Taurus is a sign of sensuality, pleasure. It's a sign of having fun as well. So that part of life is actually going to be renovated or innovated, or there's gonna be radical change in that part of life. February 6th, Mercury enters Pisces, meaning that there's gonna be a lot of communication and intellectualization around the topic of emotionality, emotions, and depth, and phases, transitions, imagination. Because Pisces, being a water sign and the sign of transitions, that's what it deals with, is with emotions, depth, imagination, transitions as well. February 9th, last quarter moon is in Scorpio. Which means that it's kind of a time for clearing out certain things. So last quarter moon is always about clearing out specific things, and because it's in Scorpio, Scorpio is about transmutation, emotions, depth as well, but it's about emotions, sexuality, transmutations. So you're gonna focus on transmutations and emotions. I'm gonna study more about moon signs, and I'm gonna see how moon signs are relevant towards daily life, because a lot of them change. But moon sign is about emotions, so moon signs is relative to your specific emotions in life. They have regarding specific things in life. February 10th, Venus enters Pisces. Your relationship life is going to be about emotionality, depth, imagination as well, which is your love life and relationship life. So you're gonna go deep inside those relationships. February 13th, Saturn enters Aries until 2028. So Saturn Aries is fairly new. It was actually in Aries temporarily, I think. I'm not sure, last year. But what I see it mean is that there's gonna be a lot of action that you're gonna take, but these actions, you're gonna have to take responsibility for those actions. Meaning that specific actions will have their own direct consequences and direct responsibility that you have to take regarding taking those specific actions. And so while you're going to take actions and create commitments, you're going to have to be responsible for the after effects of those commitments or actions. Aquarius, or February, and that's February 13th. February 17th, Aquarius solar eclipse. So when the solar eclipse is in Aquarius, it's gonna mean that there's gonna be, how to say this, there's gonna be, solar eclipse often means transitions, but also means, how to say, it means phases. Solar eclipses oftentimes signifies specific phase change. And Aquarius is about innovation, humanitarianism, but it's about human innovation, ideals, human ideals. It's about it's about forward change. It's also about yeah, it's about the new, basically, because of the solar eclipse being here. This means that you're going to go through a new phase in life regarding that subject of innovation, human ideals, humanitarianism, and stuff like that. And it's going to prompt you to new experiences. That's what solar eclipse oftentimes mean. It's pretty powerful. Let's say, astrological thing going on. February 18th, Sun enters Pisces. So your focus is, instead of it being on Aquarius, which was about innovation and the deals they have for the future, which is actually my focus right now, you're going to be focused on emotions, creating depth of emotion, creating depth, capitalizing on your ability to be intuitive, transitions as well. You're going to focus on the depth of specific emotions. And how Aquarius is relevant to my life is that I am projecting and focusing on the future ideals or future interests or future innovations that I have, where I'm thinking about what is possibility, and I'm creating specific things to create that possibility. Which is basically having maybe going to school or getting a car, saving up money and getting a car or changing locations. February 19th, Moon in Aries, conjunction Saturn Aries. Which means that the specific desire to take action will be activated by the moon, which is emotion, which is about instinctual desire to take action, but that action will have you have to have responsibility for those actions. February 20th, Saturn in Aries, conjunction Neptune Aries. So when I read into the astrological alignments on Astrology Answers, it says that alignment is going to be a specific powerhouse. It's going to be a monster. Neptune's is about dreams, illusions, and desires. And Saturn is about taking responsibility. Whatever dreams, illusions, and desires you're going to have, you're going to take actions on them. And that can be, Neptune can be benefic in that regards because you're focusing on the illusion specifically side of life, but it's more like your specific dream, your specific wanting, desire. You're going to take action on your wanting. But also these actions, because of Saturn, you're going to have a lot of responsibility. So I'm thinking that during February 20th, that the energy is going to be about taking specific actions that you're going to have to take responsibility for. Like a lot of responsibility for. And so during 2025, when Neptune was in Aries, ironically, I think Saturn was Aries, I took action regarding what my specific dream or illusion is or desire is, and which was moving to Hawaii for at least a month, or temporarily or permanently. So I took action towards that dream, and it was a perfect opportunity because I was invited to go there during the summer 2025, and yeah, I was invited to go there, and so I was there for a month. It was wonderful being there. It was beautiful, and the vital force energy was great. But there's consequences regarding the action where there's financial security, financial obligation that I have to have. So I have to move back here because I didn't want to have this way of not being able to move back here if I wanted to. February 23rd, Moon in Taurus, conjunction Uranus, Taurus. Your desire for sensuality, or basically the Taurus is about sensuality, pleasure, stability as well, but it's all about how the stability is fulfilled by having the sensuality or sensuality part of your life fulfilled, which is a Venusian type of sign. It's going to be activated by the moon, and moon is about sexual desire and sexual emotions, so that's going to activate this desire for, let's say, love and stability, or let's say sensuality, and it's going to be a radical change regarding it, because of the Uranus. February 21st, first quarter moon in Gemini, meaning that you're going to take action to plan specific, let's say, part of your life. You're going to plan for the future. With the first quarter moon, it's all about planning, organizing things to prepare for the future. Because it's Gemini is the ultimate two-faced personality sign, or zodiac sign. It's a two-face where Gemini is about communication, intellectualization, in the mind. And so, that because of the moon in that sign, you're going to deal a lot with that type of thing. February 26th, which is the mind and communication. February 26th, Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Retrograde is all about the disruptor of communication. So the Mercury retrograde is going to disrupt anything, any communication that you're going to have in your life. At the same time, in the context of this communication being disrupted, is going to, let's say, prompt you to actually create even more in life regarding organizing, or being able to have the specific ability to, let's say, to have things go in a clear direction instead of a direction that is not a straight line. So the retrograde is going to prompt you to have a desire because of this, let's say, abruption of communication in life. February 28th, Mercury Pisces conjunction Venus Pisces. Mercury is about communication, which is in Pisces about depth, emotional depth. So it's going to be in conjunction with Venus, which is about love and emotions. So love and relationship. So your love and relationship life is going to have a lot of depth towards it and strong emotions, but it's going to be conjunct with the Mercury in Pisces. So you're going to be communicating around the area of love and romance during the time, and you're going to be, in your communication is going to create this specific type of relationship that you want in the context of love and romance and emotions as well.